While a zombie virus breaks out in South Korea, passengers struggle to survive on the train from Seoul to Busan. A truck approaches a toll booth as it's being sanitized, with several workers cleaning the area in hazmat suits. The truck driver passes through the toll booth and accuses them of slowing him down, but the workers assure him that nothing is wrong and that the area is just being sanitized as there was a small leak at a nearby nuclear plant. As he passes the toll booth, he is distracted by his ringing phone and accidentally runs over a door. After inspecting the scene, he gets back in his truck and drives off. However, the door staggers to its feet despite the crash and turns to reveal that it is infected. Meanwhile, in Seoul, Seok-woo is a busy fund manager who barely has time for his daughter Seon, let alone his divorce. After a stressful day at work and accidentally buying Seon the same birthday present he did last year, Seon reveals that she wants to visit her mother in Busan. Seok-woo is initially reluctant due to work, but his mother convinces him otherwise by showing him a video of Sean singing Aloha Oh at a school recital, which he couldn't attend due to work. Out of guilt, Seok books the next KTX train bound for Busan the next morning. Early in the morning, Seok drives Sean to the station, only to nearly crash into an oncoming horde of ambulances and police cars. As Seok ponders what could be going on, Seon races out the car window and catches an ember in her hand, prompting Seok to notice the burning building in the distance. He remarks that there's something bad going on, but drives to the station regardless. They board the train, which is also occupied by the tough working class husband Sang-woo and his pregnant wife Seong-kyung, a high school baseball team, and a homeless man who seems to be aware of the zombie situation. As the train prepares to leave, a spasming young woman boards the train with an enormous bite wound on her leg. Outside the train, station manager then signals the KTX to leave, only to notice a group of people on top of the stairs of the station, screaming at something unseen. Sean watches through the window as the manager is quickly ambushed by a rabid human, which only she witnesses. Frightened, Sean gets up to go to the bathroom. A train attendant comes across the infected woman and she attempts to resuscitate her, only for the woman to complete her transformation. The zombie then latches onto the attendant's neck, who runs into the baseball team car in a panic. The two then fall to the floor, now both zombies. The two proceed to attack most of the baseball teams and creates a horde of zombies in the process. Only 4 students escape. The zombies race towards the upper compartment and infect everyone in their path. Sean unwittingly walks towards the lower ones, looking for a bathroom. Seok awakens and notices that Sean is missing from her sheet. He then receives a call from a worker who informs him that violent riots have erupted around Korea. Soon enough, a group of panicked passengers from the lower compartment rush through past his seat, screaming and running. He grabs her and they are chased by the horde. But Seok-woo successfully reaches his compartment and attempts to barricade it, nearly looking Sang-woo and Seong-kyung out in the process. The survivors struggle to barricade the door, then realize that the zombies do not know how to open it and merely charge at the sight of humans. Seong-kyung uses water and newspapers to cover the windows, which remedies the situation by causing the zombies to think they are not there. The conductor reassures the survivors over the intercom that the train will not go to Busan but stop at a Daegu station, as he has been informed that the military has been dispatched there. Young Shuk calls his company friends and asks about the situation at Daegu. He makes a private call to a co-worker and convinces him to pick him and Chan and up separately so they won't be quarantined. The train then arrives at the abandoned Daegu station and Seok-woo takes Shuan towards the east exit where they will be picked up. While the others go towards the main exit, the homeless man follows Seok-woo, having overheard his phone call. The three go down the hallway where they see a soldier in the distance. Relieved, Seok-woo tells Shuan to say where she is, and he rushes towards the soldiers for help, only to see that he is injured. The soldier begs them to help him before a horde of infected soldiers surround the concern, trampling and consuming him. The rest of the survivors head out the main exit. Several of the passengers are eaten and infected as they scramble back up the escalator and back into the station. Seok-woo, still inside the station concourse and facing zombies, tells Shuan to run. Seok-kyung takes Shuan and runs to the platform, while Seung-woo fights off the horde with Seok-woo and the two other baseball players. Once they manage to lock the exit door, they run to the train. Gang's two friends are attacked and infected when they reach the platform. Meanwhile, Jin-hee, Yang-shung, and a few others have successfully boarded their train. Seok-kyung, Shuan, In-gil, and the homeless man barricaded themselves inside a bathroom in one of the lower infected compartment, while Gang, Seok-woo, and Sang-woo successfully get onto a safe compartment. Sang-woo calls his wife and realizes she is trapped in a bathroom with a few others, unwilling to leave them to die. The three of them being fighting through the lower compartment to rescue them. In the process, they discover the zombies are blind in the dark and only react to sound. They use this to their advantages and manage to rescue them, and they all run together toward the first compartment, where Yang-shung, Jin-hee, Jong-gil, and the manager are. Yang-gang texts Jin-hee that they have rescued the survivors and are headed towards her compartment. When she happily tells the others, react with hostility and decided to lock the door to their compartment to prevent the group of entering. With the door locked, Gang attempts to break it open while Seok-woo and Sang-woo struggle to keep the zombies from entering on the other side. Realizing that there isn't enough time, Sang-woo tells Seok-woo to take care of his wife and leave him behind to distract the zombies. Seok-woo truthfully apologizes and lets go of the door, dragging Shuan and Seok-kyung towards the barricaded door. Before he is consumed, Seung-woo manages to tell his wife the name he chose for their urban son. The locked door is broken down and the survivors pile through the compartment safely. Although In-gil is not fast enough and she is eaten. Realizing that Seung-woo and In-gil could have survived as well if the group hadn't barricaded the door, Seung-woo angrily punches Yang-shung and demands to know why he did such a thing. Unwilling to answer, Yang-shung lies to the others and insists that Seung-woo and his allies are infected, instilling fear inside the initial group that barricaded the door. They force Seung-woo and the group that just entered the compartment into the hallway between their compartment and the conductor's car. Once they are forced out, Young Sheng and the others use their neckties and shirts to tie down the knob and prevent them from coming back in. John Gill, still shocked and silent from seeing her sisters die needlessly, notices in Gill's face in the crowd of zombies in the door window. She tells her infected sisters and that she lived a long and fulfilling life and realizes that the compartment group's actions have led to her sister's death. Out of anger and defeat, John Gill opens the door, allowing the zombies to flood the safe compartment. The survivors inside the hallway can only watch as the group is eaten inside the compartment. They see shadows of the passengers desperately clawing at the door they just barricaded in a cruel twist of events. The conductor receives a radio notification that Busan has succeeded in holding up the zombie infection. However, as they approach a station before Busan, the train is cut off by debris on the track. The conductor informs the remaining survivors on the train over the speaker that he will find another train on an unblocked truck to drive to Busan and that they should follow him, but wishes them luck as they will have to exit the train and survive crossing the zombie filled trucks. He exits his cockpit and finds an empty path. Successfully discovering a cargo train, she starts it up and begins going down the track towards Busan, searching for survivors on the truck. Seok-woo and the others exit the train and unbeknownst to them, Young Sheng has survived the horde of zombies in the compartment. Meanwhile, Seok-woo group is making their way to the cargo train. Suddenly, a burning freight car rushes towards them, and Jin-hee and Young-gung are separated from the group when the runway freight rams into the cars of a nearby train, which falls and blocks their path. They go into one of the next train cars to cross over to the other side through the door, not noticing that Young Sheng, who is being chased by a zombie, is following them. Young Sheng enters the car and throws Jin-hee behind him, sacrificing her to the zombie. Young Gung fights the zombie off and collapses to the ground, crying and squirming. Jin-hee in his arms. Yan-sheng ignores them and manages to pry the door open and runs towards the cargo trains as Jin-hee cocks and begins to turn. Yang-gung begins to cry, asking why fate had to be like this. He apologizes to Jin-hee for not telling her how he felt about her as she fully turns and consumes his face and thought. Young Sheng runs towards the cargo trains but twists his ankle on the trucks, and one of the zombies following him manages to bite his ankle. The conductor rushes off the car to help, but Young Sheng betrays him and throws him aside to the zombies like he did with Jin-hee. He ignores the conductor's screaming for help as he boards the train alone. Seok-woo begins to struggle with the zombie fight. Young Sheng and nearly falls off the legs of the car. Xuan screams on the other side of the car platform, which attracts Young Sheng, and he attempts to attract Seong-yeong and Xuan. However, Seok-woo intervenes and his hand is severely beaten. He manages to throw Young Sheng off the car, but notices his injury. Aware that he will turn very soon, he sets Xuan and Seong-kyung in the cockpit and tells them how to use the brakes once they get to Busan station. He then tries to leave the car, but Xuan begs him to stay and reveals that on the day of her recitals, she didn't finish singing Aloha, or because she didn't see Seok-woo in the audience. She had been saving the song for her father. The two have a tearful farewell, and Seok-woo holds Sean's small hands in his for a moment before throwing them aside and locking himself out of the cockpit. Sean begins to scream and cry for him to come back. As the infection Seok-woo sobs as he walks towards the end of the train car, clutching his bloody hand. Sean contrives to cry for him inside the cockpit as Seong-kyung tries to hold her back. She slowly approaches the back of the train car, fighting the infections and begins thinking of when Sean was an infant, recalling his happiest memories of cradling her and holding her small fingers and toes. The infection takes hold, his eyes going white and beings going dark. However, in spite of being fully zombified, Seong-woo continues thinking of Sean and he smiles happily towards the sky before falling off the car and onto the trucks. The train car finally arrives at the tunnel leading to Busan station. However, the track is blocked off with debris. The two exit the car and begin walking down the tunnel, not aware that they are being watched on the other side by the Busan military. On the sniper's reports their approach to his superior and is told to shoot them down, as they cannot tell in the dark whether they are infected or not. Just as the sniper is about to pull the trigger, Xuan begins to mournfully sing Aloha or to really the exhausted Seong Kyung to walk to the end of the tunnel. Hearing her song, the soldiers realize they are not infected and rush to their aid.